I'm so excited to record today's video because it was or is sponsored by my beautiful, beautiful friend Hannah. So I will link her Instagram below. Hannah is a mama of two beautiful daughters who I just adore them. I think they're two of the funniest little beings I've ever had the privilege of knowing. And their little family or beautiful family has been a real comfort to me, just knowing them exist. And Han decided she was going to send me a little bit of money so that we can keep this channel flowing and glowing. And yeah, I felt like it would be really lovely to read a card for us dedicated to the beautiful Hannah Banan. And I feel like if your name is Hannah, also, whoever's watching this, my name is Hannah. However it's spelled, hers is Hana. I am Hanna, technically H, but I don't spell it with that. I have a lovely other beautiful friend, Hannah, who I might send this to afterwards. So we're reading from the blind spot. It's reversed camera, isn't it? Blessings. But either way, Teal Swan, ingenious woman, connected, divine, delicious, goddess. We're using her beautiful deck, which is a beautiful bunch of sigils. So we're connecting into our blind spot. So spirit, please guide us towards what will serve us for the highest good of all. The highest good of all who will watch this in this moment. Oh, that was quick. I just did one on my Facebook Live and that was a lot longer to come out. So this one, I'll also link my Facebook below, just in case anyone wants to join. Bear with me. Let me write that down. Okay. Because I seem to be doing lots of things when forgetting to do them. Right. Our number today is 29. 29. The beautiful reversal. Maybe hold a mirror up. Hold up the mirror and you'll be able to see it the right way around. I wonder how I can do that. I'll figure that out. So today, 29, just going to place this with a beautiful message. I will read from the book because I think teal is just a sensation and yeah, why not? So, ooh, hello. Today's message, sponsored by my beautiful friend Hannah Banana. Please go follow her Instagram. She's a really incredible woman. You will not be disappointed. So, today's blind spot, ladies and gentlemen, is wanting to be right. If you have drawn this sigil, you are not clearly seeing that either consciously or subconsciously, you are wanting to be right more than you are wanting anything else. The truth in this situation is that it doesn't matter if you are right or not. You may be very wrong in this scenario, or you may be very right. Either way, what happens is that you are valuing being right over everything else, and this will lead to pain. It is a warped priority to have if you want genuine improvement to take place. If you are valuing being right over effectiveness, you need to ask yourself what your goal is. What do you get out of being right? In relationships, especially when it comes to conflict resolution, this will get us into a lot of trouble. It will make finding a solution impossible. It will lock us into a struggle of ego versus ego. We need to ask ourselves if we want to be right or to have success. We need to ask ourselves if we want to be right or if we want connection, because often these things are opposed. What we tend to do when we are defending our position is to get louder as we feel ourselves losing ground relative to something that is important to us. We talk over others, we interrupt, we shut others down, we try to convince everyone that we are right. It is akin to an alternate reality experience where we get feverish like a dog with food aggression over a bone. It feels like this because our brain has quite literally been hijacked. Our body is flooded with the stress chemicals because it feels as though it is being threatened. It doesn't matter whether there is a threat or an external whether that threat is an external threat or just the threat of shame and the loss of power associated with being wrong. And so it chooses to shut down executive functions like compassion and strategy and openness. Instead, our instincts take over and we do one of four things. We fight, keep arguing the point. We flee, revert to hide behind group consensus or exit the scene, still convinced of our own rightness. We freeze, we disengage from the argument by shutting up while still maintaining our belief that we are right. Or appease, make ourselves not a threat to the adversary by simply agreeing with him or her, despite still not believing that they are right. In all of these scenarios, we still did not let go of the idea that we are right. We simply avoided finding a meeting of minds, prevented the critical sharing of information and opinions. We also got the opposite reward of our body being flooded with chemicals that make us feel dominant and invincible, which happens when we argue to win. If you have drawn this sigil, you have to let go of the need to be right and instead look to be understood. To do this, you'll have to put the effort into understanding others, listening to them, seeing them, and feeling them. When you do that for others, they will want to do it for you. Everyone has important opinions, perspectives, and information to share. You will soon find out that the reward of actual connection will trump the feeling of being right and proving that you are right. Profound. I feel like this is so relevant for our society nowadays. And the card that I actually drew on Facebook for my community over there was judgment. And I feel this ties in really deliciously actually with that, because when we start our decision to engage in a conversation, what we go in with the intention of is really reflected within that conversation and how that other person is going to react with us or to us, by us, from us. We have so much potential in each moment to either connect or to disconnect. And I know there have been times in my life when I reflect and I'm really honest with myself that I froze or I didn't have the vocabulary or the strength of frame, my feminine essence or my masculine protector parts to fully relax and embody my truth in that moment and say, it's okay, I'm open to you, I'm open to hear your perspective. A lot of the time it's because we've got so much stress coming up and through our body, through our nervous system, that is almost preconditioned from our childhood, or it's perpetuated by our lifestyle, perpetuated by life events, big things that are happening kind of on the grander scheme of things. But I think having a confidence in our body and in our inner world, knowing that no matter what happens, we can hold that space, we can really hold this frequency. That's where the confidence comes. That's where the repetition really brings grit, really brings depth, really brings power to who we are as a being. And going back to the card and oh, that's not the right one. Wanting to be right, sorry. Going back to the card and wanting to be right, I think we were always taught that that is right, that is wrong. We go to school, we're in a place where you literally are graded on being right or wrong. So why wouldn't we have that mentality in all of life? I think from what I'm wanting to emulate in my reality and the kind of relationships I want to create deeper connection with, there's less need to prove oneself as being right or good, because there's an innate openness and understanding, a compassion, and a conscious release of judgment. I feel like as the humans we currently are, we're going to have judgments, we're going to have moments of wanting or needing to be right, but having those relationships that feel safe enough and really secure enough for us to delve into that together, for us to have the space and time together to really trust one another and open up in a way that feels genuine and meaningful to both parties, not a one-sided connection, one size fits all type structure, but something that's really innately unique to each individual. And when we let go of the need to be right about someone or something or ourselves, we open ourselves up to magic and surprise from people and places and life in general. Like, hey, I didn't know that person could say those kinds of things and reinforce this in me and strengthen that in our connection. And hey, what a magic, you know? So there we are. Developing empathy and compassion, I think, is really coming through that. Anyway, it's a real pleasure to read for you today. It's a real pleasure to connect. It's so very wonderful to be in this space with you. I'm really, really enjoying coming up for these videos each day. I'm noticing that it's like my favorite daily activity that I'm doing. I do my yoga and my guitar, my music, blabby blooby blooby bloops. But I really look forward to this connection point on here. So it means a lot that you watch my video. It means a lot that you've put your heart and your energy in this placement, in this time on earth, and coming here to connect with me. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And all unfolds in the perfect way. Let me know in the comments below how this video resonated with you, what your thoughts are, how you're feeling. And I look forward to connecting in tomorrow. Take care. Blessings.